Guys, another 5 a.m. video. Listen, I'll tell you this right now, and this is speaking from experience, and this is fucking harsh. But when I meet someone, when I meet a man, when a man walks in the room and I see he's fucking got a big gut on him, you know what that's telling me? It's telling me that his gut's out of control because his life is out of control. And how at the end of the day, it's a huge physical representation of what's going on in his mind, what he believes about himself, what he believes about life, the standards he sets for himself, and the standards he sets for himself around everybody else, and how he gets set up to be treated by himself and everybody else. You know, and no one likes hearing that, but that's the fucking reality. When I was 398 pounds, I was telling the fucking world that I had no control, I had no discipline, I had no self-respect, and I had no self-esteem. I had no energy. I was fucking broken. You could tell at the moment you fucking saw me. And it's the exact same whenever I see anybody else. When I see any other dude walk in and walk by or enter a room and stuff, and they're huge and their gut's out of control, their life is out of control. So at the end of the day, when I see someone that's changed that or doesn't have that, when I walk into a room, when I look in the mirror and I see that I'm 280 pounds, fucking jacked, delts pouring out everywhere, arms pouring out everywhere, ab shows in the morning and stuff like that, it's not by accident. It didn't just fucking stumble upon it. It's not because I'm fucking lucky. It's because I took control. I took control of the physical and I took control of the mental. And each one feeds into the other one. The physical discipline you create creates mental discipline. The mental discipline you create creates physical discipline. And they start feeding into each other and they start building on each other and they start stacking on each other, right? So I always say, and this is my approach with everybody, it starts in the gym because those are the easiest wins. Showing up at the gym is a win. Getting a workout in the gym is a win. And there's a physical effect of that workout that you'll feel immediately. You'll feel phenomenal because you're doing something and the changes start automatically. And mentally, it starts to trigger things as well too. So for me, that's why it's the iron. In iron we trust. The iron never lies, right? Show up, start working out, start moving, get the blood flowing, start feeling the muscles engage again. And then next layer, start eating better. Next layer, start thinking better, right? And start building on those principles, the daily non-negotiables, right? So that as you start to change, you start to change. When you start to change up here, you start to change out here. When you change out here, you start to change up here. It's automatic. You can't avoid it. If you start doing these things and do them on a consistent basis and build that discipline, it's unavoidable. You're going to get in better shape physically, and you're going to get in better shape mentally, and how you're going to treat yourself is going to change, and how the world's going to treat you is going to change. The standards you set for yourself and that you increase for yourself and hold yourself to, you get up early every morning, you get your workouts in, you eat properly, right? You do those things on a consistent basis, right? That is what builds discipline, and that discipline builds more results, and those results want you to build more discipline, right? At the end of the day, at first, when we first start, it's very hard to break all those habits. That's why I always say discipline is a violent action. It is a violent action that you take upon yourself that you are no longer going to accept a whole bunch of things. So the discipline of getting up when the alarm goes off, that's a violent reaction. Discipline of getting up and getting dressed and going downstairs and getting ready to go and hit the gym, that's a violent reaction. That's a violent changing into the first force of the normal activities that you do. You're pushing against the momentum that's pushed you down. So you have to step up and become much more powerful. You have to, right? So at the end of the day, right, your body becomes a physical representation of everything you think and believe about yourself and the world around you, right? So it's your fucking resume. That's it. And when you look in the mirror and you start getting pleased and proud of what you're seeing, that makes a big difference as well too. Because I'll tell you right now, when you're out of shape and you're broken and you're weak, you look in that mirror and you fucking hate it. And you hate what you see and you hate what you've done to yourself. And then you start thinking that way. You start those negative thoughts. Fuck it. Doesn't matter. Might as well eat. I might as well drink. I might as well do that. Right? And then you start all that negative loop stuff. And then you start going in the other direction. Turn that shit around. Show up. Hit the gym. Build some muscle. Burn some fat. Eat better. Eat cleaner. Eat in a deficit. Eat with purpose. Move with purpose. Think with purpose. Right? Start first thing in the morning and build on that shit. That's how it's done.